So if we haven't met, I'm Jennifer Elliott, and this is Yin for the lower back and neck. So this has been a really tiring week. I think there's been a lot of stress in the world, and when we're stressed, our low back, our neck, there are orienting muscles. You can think fight, flight, or freeze, and so they're the ones that tense up first. So I decided to do this practice to help relieve the lower back, to relieve the neck. We'll do some forward folds, sort of pressure on the forehead, maybe have an eye pillow around to just sort of release that tension that we hold in the face, the jaw, the lower back. So that's my intention, and then hopefully you get the benefits of just being in this practice of the yoga community. So we'll get started. So we're going to start in a reclined butterfly. I'll give you my version of it. And then, as always, you just set up the way that works for you. So what I'm going to do is put a block under my bolster. And what you mainly want to do is you mainly want to be comfortable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a blanket and I'm going to unfold it once so it's a little bit longer than usual. And I'm going to roll it up. And this is just going to be support. You could use blocks or other blankets, whatever you'd like. But I find sometimes when I lie back, my low back needs a little bit more support than what I've got. So I'm going to take my rolled blanket, place it on top of my feet, tuck it under my calves, and pull it up through the center. Now, if you don't have a blanket like this, you could have blocks under your knees. You could change your bolster. So as always, this is more about target area, less about specific pose. I'm going to use a timer on my phone. This just gives us our time so we don't have to think about it. And this first pose will be a total of 5 minutes. All right. So start to get yourself set, get comfortable, whatever that means for you. And again, if you have an eye pillow, something you can put over the eyes, or even, I won't do my eye pillow, but I do have my sandbag. We use sandbags and weighted blankets, things like that, because it tells the nervous system to relax. So if you even just have an extra blanket nearby, you might place it on your belly just to start to signal your nervous system to relax, to respond to that rest and digest and move away from that stress, sympathetic nervous system. Let the jaw relax. The eyes are soft. Just take a few moments to settle. Notice if you're comfortable. If you're not comfortable here, you're probably not going to get more comfortable. So make those adjustments that you need so you can settle into gravity. You can become still. Unhinge the jaw. Do that consciously. It tells the nervous system again to relax. The tongue softens in the mouth. The eyes relax, let them melt into their sockets. Release the shoulders and the hands. And the low back, hips, and knees. And then start to take nice, smooth breaths in and out through the nose. Notice the quality of your breath as you breathe. Does it feel limited? Does it feel jagged? Is the inhale or the exhale longer? Just investigate. And then let's begin to even our breath to help even our nervous system. So we'll take an inhale through the nose to a count of 4, 3, 2, 1, pause. Exhale out the nose, 4, 3, 2, 1, pause. Again, inhale for 4. And exhale for 4. And just become intuitive about it now. Take an inhale. And feel that the exhale is the same length. Gentle rise, gentle fall. And just continue this breath. We've got another 90 seconds or so left. And you may not feel relaxed right away, which is fine. It may take you a little time to unwind. But just investigate, where do you feel that stress or anxiety or tenseness, tightness? Can you soften it? Can you let it go? There may be times when you feel like these holds are too long, and that's fine too. You can always come out early, enjoy a rest. It's the time that really creates the pose. Okay. So take a moment, stretch, and do what you need. You can guide the knees together, reach back behind you, yawn. Again, a great way to relax the nervous system. It's so amazing how much the jaw is really connected to that fight, flight, or freeze. So I'm going to keep my bolster as it is. You may have blocks behind you, blankets, whatever you'd like. But I'm going to move into what we call a deer twist. So I'm simply going to turn to the right so that my right hip is against the bolster or whatever prop that it is. My legs are staggered and I'm consciously going to move this left leg back more because I want to get into the front of the left thigh. Some of you that may be too much. So I'll start off sort of in the medium. So hands on either side of the prop behind you, or just have your hands behind you on your mat. Pull your chest forward and then slowly lower yourself down. Let your forearms rest. If you have a little height on the bolster like I do, they can even slide underneath. And then you decide which ear you'd like to have against the bolster or floor. Okay, so get set up in that. I'll get our timer started. We're here 2.5 minutes. And if this twist is not for you, any twist is fine. It's all about target area. Okay. There we are. So again, lift and lengthen, turn, and then just depending on how you're feeling, you can stack the legs more if your low back is feeling tender, or you can really extend that left leg back to get into the front left thigh. It's personal preference here. And then let the eyes close. And let the breath be smooth and even. And even though this is yin, I'll offer some more restorative-like options just to really help your nervous system settle. And so some things that I might do if this was a restorative class is I may set blankets in between the legs or on top of the legs. Anything that just tells your body to settle. So I'll do that for a moment just to give you an idea. And as the eyes close, see if you can bring attention into the back body. So as you take an inhale, feel the back ribs expand with breath. And a natural exhale, feel the front ribs melt into the support of your props. And just continue that. Inhale, space. Exhale, surrender into that space. All right, continue on your own.
You might turn your head for this last minute. That's up to you. In this pose, notice your jaw. We might sleep similarly to this, where the jaw is really affected. It might be out of alignment or a little bit strained. Sometimes we wake up with tension headaches or the low back or the neck rather hurting. And so it may just be a result of how you lie, how you sort of put pressure on the jaw, the neck, the head. All right. So slide your hands back, press up, and we're going to change this. So as you turn to face the front of your mat, your legs are still in deer. Your right leg looks like pigeon, your left leg looks like hero. But this time, instead of moving to the twist right away, we're going to move into sort of a reclined version of this. So I'm going to shift my hips forward. I'm going to lie back. Just get comfortable. And we're continuing to work on that left thigh. Now, this is not for you. All kinds of reasons this wouldn't be for you. Any kind of a lunge that would get into that left thigh is fine. If you have a wall and you want to do King Arthur on the wall, you want to lie on your belly and reach for that ankle. Whatever is going to get you into that top left thigh is fine. We'll be here again, that 2.5 minutes, so not too long, kind of a little middle grade place to be. And if you get here and you don't even feel it in your front thigh because maybe your low back or the top of your foot or your knee talk to you more, then make changes. If you have a bolster and it doesn't have a prop underneath it, you may need to add a blanket or something under your seat or underneath your head. Again, the eyes close. We start to shut out the outside world a little bit. It may just be our house, it may be things around us. And if we can work into a little pratyahara sense withdrawal, we can take those senses that normally explore our environment, our external environment, we can turn them inward and allow them to explore our inner environment. As you turn inward, you might notice your breath. That's the first thing you can observe. Any sensations in the body. You might notice thoughts or emotions. So just be the observer, the witness, not the judge. Anything that comes up, you're just noticing. All right. So you're gently going to press yourself upright. And then we'll do those two poses on the other side. So you'll turn so that your left hip is against your bolster or prop. The legs are staggered or stacked. That's up to you and your body right now. And then turn to face that back of your mat, back of the bolster, whatever you're at. Pull the chest forward, lengthen, and then slowly fold. And again, you can stack the legs if that's better for you. I'm going to try to move mine back a bit so I can get into the top thigh. And my little restorative blanket. And then sides are different. So you may notice, like for me personally on this side, it's really challenging for me to turn my head the other way. So notice, listen to your neck, see if it's comfortable for you. If you're able to turn your head, see if you can do that, but don't force anything. You might even lift up if that twist feels too deep. We've got a little less than 90 seconds left here. Continue that inward observation. And 5 breaths left. Alright, slide your hands back and do the second part of that pose again. So the legs will stay the same. In case you're not sure where you're at, your left leg looks like pigeon, kind of like a thread the needle, and your right leg looks like a reclined hero. And this may be plenty. Shift the hips, lie back, or find that place that's comfortable for you. Again, we'll be here that 2.5 minutes. If you took a different pose, take that here. It's nice to be even, but not necessary. You may notice things come up and they may make you uncomfortable. And that's fine. Just notice, why are they making you uncomfortable? Is it uncomfortable because you should move? That's creating an injury or something that's not safe? Or is it just an experience that your body is sort of fending off? Give it some space, give it some breath, and maybe it won't seem so intense. About a minute left. You can always add movements to the arms, try to accentuate the stretch or to make any changes you'd like. All right. Sure if you can hear that, but that's our bell. So slowly make your way up. Okay, so we're going to move into a wide butterfly. So get yourself set up however you'd like. I'm going to use my bolster just in case I want it. I'm going to put it in front of me. And you may or may not be sitting on a blanket. Again, everything's just personal preference. And a wide butterfly means that the feet aren't close to the body, but they're further away. And I like the bolster because I eventually might put my feet on the bolster just to make this a little bit higher. But again, you can just explore, see what works for you. We're going to be here 3 minutes. If you're already in your pose, enjoy. And we'll be with you shortly. Let's see if we can turn it just a little higher on the volume. Okay, so feet are far away from you, whatever feels comfortable. You can even rest your props on top of your feet, whatever you'd like. And get creative. Again, we want the forehead to relax. That's going to calm the mind. So it may be setting yourself up in a way that you can fully let your forehead rest. So I just got creative. I sort of built the floor up to me. And as I relax, I may move these layers away. There's no need to look like my pose or anyone else's. Just find something that's comfortable for you. Forward fold to really allow us to move in to self-reflect. Again, a bit of that pratyahara again. We've got a little bit more than a minute left. If you're able to relax your forehead, you're releasing the neck. It may just be that it's hanging in space. It doesn't necessarily have to be supported. And we have the lower back opening, creating some space here. Relax the jaw, let it unhinge again. All right, take your time, slowly coming out. We're going to keep something similar to this. We're just going to straighten one leg. Let's straighten the right leg. And the left knee will stay bent. And again,
Do whatever you want to make this comfortable. It's yin, but I'm giving you slightly more restorative options just because I think that's needed this week. So for me, I hyperextend my legs, and we haven't done a ton of hamstring work, so I'm just putting a blanket underneath my leg just to give my hamstrings a break. And then do whatever you like here. So because it's slightly more restorative, maybe you use your bolster. You can kind of do the same work that we did earlier, or you can just take a forward fold, whatever you'd like. I think for me, I'm going to skip the bolster. We're here 3 minutes. Get you started. I'll skip the bolster, but I'm going to use my blocks today, I think. And again, you might find ways to rest your forehead. The jaw unhinge. And you may hear me give several cues, similar cues. But you'll often be surprised how many times that reminder worked. Oh yeah, I forgot to breathe, or oh, I do need to relax my jaw. So we're trying to break habits. It's really common for those areas to retense. They just sort of do that automatically, unconsciously. And so the more we take conscious control and we change those patterns, then eventually when I say take that breath, relax that jaw, it's already done. And halfway through your pose. Now, if you have low back disc herniations, you have hamstring sensitivity, sciatic issues, I should have mentioned you can do these things on your back. So you can take a strap over the foot, which we'll do later, but you may want to do that now if there's feeling any tenseness in your lower back. Take care of you. And the last couple breaths. Okay, so slowly make your way out. We'll do the other side. If you realize that's not your pose, then take something similar. So again, our target is stretching the hamstrings, the low back, the spine, and the forehead. Okay, we're here those same 3 minutes. My straight leg now, my left leg, the knee feels a little bit sore from being bent the whole time. So if you feel that, just do whatever you need to put props under in your knees. You can even straighten that leg. I usually don't realize my knee is uncomfortable till it's over, so do what you need here. And if you find yourself resisting the poses, know that that's okay too. Sometimes the nervous system isn't ready at that moment to relax. Sometimes we have to take breaks, and backing off definitely is going deeper. You're listening to your body.
We're looking to find that edge, but we're not forcing where that edge is. I'm hoping my bunny will make an appearance today. I have the door open. I don't usually, so if you're not watching me, just listening to me, I will let you know if he comes out, because I know some of you have asked. But he already kind of came out earlier, so we'll see. I don't know if he'll come out again. All right, we're halfway through our pose. 90 seconds left. Breathe into the whole back body. Almost imagine a waterfall dripping down the spine all the way down to the hips. Releasing any tension, calming any nerves. Five breaths left. Okay, so slowly come out. We're going to move to child's pose, and again, I recommend making it slightly more restorative. We're just going to be there 3 minutes, but if you're like me, it's nice to have maybe blankets underneath you. You might even have a blanket in the knee crease if the knees are giving you any sensitivity or trouble today. I'm going to use the bolster just because I've got it. But again, any version of child's pose is fine. I'm not sure if I can do it on my own, but if you have a sandbag, you can even put a sandbag on your back. So again, all of these things are helpful to the nervous system. Okay, so find your way into your child's pose. If the knees are not happy with child's pose, you can come to your back or do any sort of restorative posture. And then if you have a bolster like I do, you can either turn your head to one side for half the time and then the other, or maybe it's far enough that your head is down, maybe you're to the end of the prop. So whatever you'd like. I'll give you a halfway point if you want to switch. You can feel the whole body surrender. We've been doing this for a little while, so you may notice your body dropping into these poses a little bit more quickly. Is the jaw relaxed? What about the space around the eyes? How is your breath? So always checking back. We're halfway through, so if you'd like, turn your head to the other side. Maybe you can count the breath. Let's see if we can get to 5 or maybe 8 counts. Okay, so we're going to come into either dangling pose, which is a forward fold, a standing forward fold, or that may not be for you. So you may decide that you want to use the wall, legs at the wall, which we'll actually all do together in a moment, or you can do anything that stretches the back, like Paschimottanasana. So again, either stand up. I'm going to keep my knees fairly bent here. My legs are wide, maybe almost as wide as the mat, but not quite. I'm going to grab onto the elbows and hang. I'm going to do 2 minutes just because if you're actually standing and hanging, that's a little bit extreme. And then I'll just keep talking and give you options. So you can do dangling pose. We're not about straight legs. We want a good bend in the knees. We want space for the belly so the legs are wide. You can grab onto your elbows. You can also do this, which is really nice, at the wall. So if you have a wall, you can do legs up the wall, but it's also nice to have your hips angled on the wall. So I'll just do this here to give you a different perspective. So if your hips are against the wall in this dangling pose, I've got some space, maybe 5 or 6 inches, my feet from the wall, grabbing onto my elbows, letting the head hang again. You could even really get creative if you wanted. The forehead, relax. If this is too much for you, legs up the wall. You can switch the clasp of the arms. We have 1 minute left here. All right, couple more breaths. All right. So everybody was a little bit different in their poses. If you have legs at the wall and that's okay for you, stay there. We're going to join you. If you don't have a wall space, you can put your hips on a bolster or block, do legs in the air. So whatever is working for you. I'm just going to be lazy, not move my mat, but move my blanket a little bit. Maybe I'll do that so it'll give me some space. So legs in the air, legs up the wall. Again, I'm making it super restorative, so I'm going to attempt to use my sandbag. We'll see how that goes for me. I'm going to sit sideways to the wall. Throw those legs up the wall. Just going to untie here. All right. And then if you have that sandbag, maybe you put it on your feet. Or anything that's going to help you ground. Some of you, that may be a bolster or a blanket. All right, we're back to 2.5 minutes. So with all of these poses, again, it's not about any of these particular poses, these are very grounding poses. I'm just looking for those poses that allow your nervous system to settle the most while giving you a stretch. Those of you using eye pillows, maybe this is that time that you want to put it on the eyes or even on the forehead. It doesn't have to go on the eyes. For some of us, that's a little bit too much pressure on the cornea. But if you even just put it slightly higher on the forehead, that's usually where we want that sense of relaxation. If you don't have an eye pillow, this could just be the sleeve of a sweater, the corner of a strap, whatever you have available. And about 6 breaths left. All right, so make your way out of that posture. I'll roll this way. And then find your way onto your back. We're going to do what I call final stretch, even though it's not necessarily the final one, Supta Padangusthasana. So if you have a strap, grab that. And we'll move into that in just a moment. I'm going to put my bolster next to me on the right side. I already have a big loop in my strap, so I'm going to use that. And I'm lazy, so I'm going to take the strap around the body, and it's going to go up under the armpits. Important, we don't want the strap around the lower back or waist. So if your strap is not the right length and it falls down, this is just going to feel uncomfortable. So make sure your strap can go as high as the armpits. And then when you lie down, the other end of the strap goes over the foot. And I like to have the buckle about halfway between me so I can adjust it. And now I'm in a great place. I don't even have to think about that strap. I'm going to set my timer. If you don't have this available, you can hold on to the strap. This is just nice for the hands. You hear 2 minutes, which is also another reason why you might want something you don't have to hold the whole time. And it's funny because even though I was saying it, as I had legs up the wall, I could feel my jaw starting to tense. It's that sort of place where it goes to. So I smiled to myself because I thought to myself, all right, relax the jaw. If you have to use the hands, find a way that the shoulders can relax. Otherwise, when the hands are gripping, oftentimes the jaw grips. So those things are very connected. So just get creative. You want the stretch, but we're also looking for that ability to release. As you're settling into your space, you may have a space where it's very content and relaxed and not a lot going on around you, but most of us, that's not the case. Most of us have a lot going on in our space around us, whether it be objects or people or noises. And so instead of trying to drown those things out, which just makes you not want to be present and sort of fidgety or frustrated with the present, use those things as your meditation. So for an example, if you have loud neighbors or loud partners or television on, anything like that, go ahead and open the leg out to the right. I have the bolster as out of a wall I may use. But if you have those things that are distracting you, instead of trying to shy away from them, really use them as your focus. Use them as a meditation. Again, if you're using that strap, have it be pretty high up on the chest. And if you're using sound as your mindfulness meditation, see if you can layer it. What's closest, what's furthest. I can hear the birds outside. You might hear a little rustling inside. What seems closer? Can you layer them? Does your right ear or your left ear hear them more? Do the sounds change the quality of your breath? Spend some time with sound. We're here about 6 more breaths. All right, help guide your leg to center. If you're keeping the strap where it is, you can keep that as you take the leg across the body. And I find sometimes I'll even just hold the strap on this side or maybe prop underneath, but I'm just gonna hold the strap, I think. So our last 2 minutes on this side. All right. If this twist is too much, any twist is fine. But I find this series, the 3 poses that we've just done with the strap on this leg, if I'm having any sort of lower back sensitivity, any sciatic issues, doing this on my back with the strap usually really relieves it. But if you feel too buzzy here in the glute and the knee, bend the knee a little bit, change the pose, take care of you. Part of our practice is hydrating the joints, the tissues, the organs. And so we sort of do this squeeze and soak. You can imagine that we've wrung out a dirty washcloth that sort of released all of those toxins. That washcloth or that sponge is now buoyant, it's ready to vacuum back in moisture. And so we can use that to sort of imbibe moisture into our discs, into our tissues. It's part of the reason we feel so good after yoga. Otherwise, our normal state is one of sort of dehydration of the body. Okay, so we'll compare now. You'll see what I mean. So take the strap off that right leg and just rest for a moment, mini Shavasana. Don't worry, we'll do the other side. But feel the difference. One side feels longer, more free, more movement. The other side is maybe a little cranky. It would like to sort of do the same. All right, so put the strap over your left foot. We'll do the other side. I'm going to turn around just because I think that's better. And keep my bolster on that side. All right, so strap over the left foot or whatever was working for you. Again, if the strap is falling down to the waist, you want to be really mindful of that. And just go back to those areas that I talked about. Soften the forehead. Is it relaxed already? Do you have to remind it? What about the jaw, the tongue, the hands, the lower back? I'm going to show one more option. You can do it for today, but really it's nice other times. So the head hammock. So I don't want the strap on my neck like it is here. It goes up to the base of the skull, right around the ears. I tightened up my strap so that I can give a nice stretch to my neck. So we could have done this the whole time. I just know some of you like it, so I wanted to throw it in there. Another great way to traction the neck. If you have the head hammock on, be real mindful. Take it off first. Some of you will just stay where you are and open out to the left. I'm going to go back to under the waist. Did the head hammock, you'll have to readjust. So we've got 2 minutes. Open out to the left. All right. So I have this discussion all the time with people about if you use props, is it considered yin? Yes, it is considered yin. What you want to think about, today I have used more props than usual to maybe add to the restorative quality of it. But we still have some good stretches here. And what we want is we want gravity to take over. We want to build the floor up to us. And so the props are just tools to help you fully release. And so if a prop helps you get into gravity more, release a little bit deeper, great. It's just personal preference. Five more breaths. All right, last one of the series, cross the leg over, whatever that looks like for you. All right, we've got about 5 or 6 breaths left. All right, bring the leg up. Remove your props. Bring ourselves upright. Let's take a seated forward fold. Oh, you missed it. The buddy came out, but he went under the prop. So maybe we'll see him come back. All right. So some of you may have caught him coming out of the doorway. I just barely missed him. Okay, so take a nice forward fold. The back, the neck be long. If this forward fold is too much for you, then you can do happy baby or anything that just is that final release for you. We'll be here these final 2 minutes and then we'll go into Shavasana. So again, if this is not your pose to rest, do something that is. It's just this final pose. It may be even a hip opener or something that really allows you to rest. Just a few more breaths here. Okay, so we'll get set up for Shavasana, and let Shavasana just feel really comfortable for you. So we've done a lot of forward folds. Sometimes lying on your back in Shavasana can be really vulnerable, sort of that heart open. And if you feel more comfortable on the forward folds, you might lie in your belly, a bolster or prop underneath you. You might lie on your side in fetal position. So just take something that is really supportive for you, whatever that means. It could be legs back up the wall again. And in a moment, I'll set the timer so that we are here for a good 3-minute Shavasana. I'm going to get super creative with my Shavasana here. And the bunny is hopping around. He may or may not come by. This floor is a little slippery for him, so he usually goes around the perimeter. For those of you that have eyes open, you might see him. Okay, Shavasana. Begin to move fingers and toes. Arms overhead. One last yawn to release the jaw. Bend your knees as you roll to your side. And as you're ready, press yourself upright to seated. As you find your way to seated, draw your hands to your heart in gratitude for all this time and energy you've put into you today. Lift your heart, bow your head. Namaste.